for waiting so patiently for me. Thank you. Please let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Caroline. Hi, MJ. Welcome, bloody welcome. Can you give me a thumbs up? Let me know that you can hear me, please. Thank you very much. I'm waiting. Yeah. Welcome to Friday night with me, Richard, here on the sofa. Lovely. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, MJ. Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I just thought I'd pop in and say hi. Yeah. Like the old days. I've been off today. I've been off work. I've been in the house. Hello, Mark. Doing stuff. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us, Paul. Paul's been in the kitchen doing an experiment with the Instant Pot, haven't you, Paul?
Yes.
He's now drinking wine.
Yes.
Hello, Sylvia. Hello, Elaine. Hi, Sandra. Well, you're very, very welcome, Carol. Hello, the Veranda Files, Hydron. Is it Hydron? Is that how I... Hedron or Hydron? I'm not too sure. Hello, Layla. Hello, CJ. Hello, Tony. Hello, Judy. Hello, La Mille de Paris. Bonjour. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. There's 35 of you at the moment. Hello, Kate. Hello, Trandans. Welcome. Hello, Monica. Hello, Leslie. Borada. Hello, Green Smoothie Lady. There's some wonderful names here. I love them. Hydron. Thank you. Yes, I know, but that doesn't mean I know how to pronounce your name. Hello, Joan from Dublin. Hello, Rebecca. Well, you know, I thought I would surprise you all, seeing as you're such loyal fans. And I do enjoy doing a live show once in a while. Yeah, so I hope you're all well. Hope you're all settled down for a cozy evening wherever you are, or a cozy morning. Let's talk a little bit about the weather. I surprised you, Paul, did I? Why? I said earlier.
I know, that was a surprise because I'd had my whole day planned.
You'd had your day planned and I upset your plans. Well, I'm so sorry, Paul, sincerely. Well, you know, I like to be spontaneous these days. Fun, spontaneity. Hello, Whitson's mom. It's a bit chill in Swansea, Tony. Well, I wanted to talk about the weather first of all, because we've had sort of almost record-breaking temperatures. Hi, Nettie. Yesterday here, I clocked at lunchtime 19.6 degrees outside. So I had my winter coat on. By the time I got back to work, I was sweating my boobs off. I really was. If you can say boobs, I'm sure you can. Yeah.
You can say breasts.
Breasts.
Because they're medical term.
I can say boobs as well. I think you'll find, Paul. Thank you very much. Boobs. And obviously, you fans know that if you say before a word that begins with B, it sounds better. Boobs. There we are. It just does. It just works. It's my thing. Copyright, trademark. Yeah, it's been really mild, really, really mild. Boobs. Yeah, surprisingly, but it does occasionally happen in February. I've known Februaries in the past where I've been in a t-shirt in the garden. So it's great because it means, as you know, we live in a cold Victorian house. Yeah, thank you very much, MJ. Copyright, trademark. Breasticles. There we are, Rebecca. It works. It just works. What was I saying now? Yeah, temperatures in February. I've known it to be really mild, really, really mild in February. And it's an anomaly, I'm sure, because as we all know, February is still winter. Even though we've got signs of spring springing up all over the place. We've got blossoms in the garden at the moment, as you saw on Facebook earlier. Beautiful
birds on the trees.
Birds. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, we've got, blossoms in the garden, blossoms down the road. The big blossom tree is starting to bud up. Buds. Doesn't work with an S word. It only works with B words. Yeah. So spring is coming. We can feel it. But of course, March can surprise us with a cold snap. And April. Paul, do you mind with the notification? Thank you very much. It's rather disturbing. I was telling somebody the other day at work that in 1978, we had snow in June in the UK. And I remember telling Paul this story many years ago. And he was like, oh, yeah, really? And we saw a programme on wild weather where a cricket match in Derbyshire, which was up the road from where I used to live in Cheshire, was stopped through snowfall. So, the weather has been kind of a little bit crazy for many, many years, which is interesting. Yeah, it's true, Kate. Absolutely. Well, I'm from Cheshire. I'm from Macclesfield in Cheshire, which is quite high up. It's on the edge of the Peak District. And they tend to get quite a lot of inclement weather during the winter and very odd weather during the summer. I'm just having a look at the comments. You're watching from work, Leslie. Oh, very naughty. I do like a bit of naughtiness at work. Nice naughtiness. Yeah, so, we're not out of winter yet. And I believe this weekend we're due quite a lot of rain. There's a weather warning in place for heavy rain tomorrow. So yet again, we're housebound. I was thinking maybe we'd go out for a walk today, but Paul had other plans. He had a skip arriving at the doodah place that you go to. What's it called? The allotments. That's it. Had a skip arriving. For those of you who don't know what a skip is, it's a big metal container that rubbish is thrown into. So, yeah. Well, I wouldn't describe myself as a Mac lad. I was actually born in Knutsford. Posh. You see, I came out of the womb posh.
Knutsford city limits.
Knutsford is a lovely town. And my family are originally from all over the place. The Midlands, Manchester, Salford, Lancashire. And I started life in Wilmslow in Cheshire, which is a very posh little village. But I grew up in good old Macclesfield. So, yeah, there we are. So, yeah, back to the weather. So it's going to be wet this weekend, apparently. So we'll be indoors. We'll be filming Sunday Chat tomorrow.
Sunday Chat!
Yeah, all right, Paul. Jesus. Mary, Mother of God. Well, there you go, Nettie. Yeah. Hello, Carol from St. Clair in Michigan. Wow, Michigan. How lovely. So, yeah, I think we're going to be indoors this weekend. I did a little bit of gardening today. And before you say, why didn't you take us along? It's still incredibly wet out there. The ground is absolutely sodden. The reason I went out into the back garden is because there was a yellow trug, a yellow plastic trug that had blown in the wind, and it was down the bottom of the garden. So I needed to retrieve that from crushing my daffodils, and that's not a euphemism. And a bush had blown over in one of the storms, and I had to cut that down. And also I wanted to remove some of the bloody palm tree leaves. I tell you, those palm trees are a right pain in the backside, I tell you. I wanted to just do a very brief tidy up. But as I went out there, I realised everything was so wet. I thought, if I spend too much time out here, it's going to be like a mud bath. And I don't really want that. Seeing as I was still in my pyjamas as well. Yeah. So I did attempt a little garden tidy, which was quite nice. And at that time, I saw the blossom trees and thought, I must take photos, I must. So I did. And I shared them on Facebook. And I did a little reel for Instagram as well, which I love doing. I love reels on Instagram. I'm addicted to watching them. So, backside. That's right. So, yeah, that's been my day for you. How's my week been? Well, I had today off, thank goodness, because I planned that. Well, I told my boss at the beginning of the week, I'm not working Friday, by the way. And she said, oh, right, okay. I said, well, you know, Friday is not a contracted day for me. Neither is Thursday and neither is Wednesday afternoon, but I've been doing the extra hours, as you know, which I'm very grateful for. Gratitude. But I'm getting to the stage where I'm thinking, with spring approaching, I'd like to start doing other things. You know, I'd like to start going for walks in the country. I'd like to start enjoying the spring weather, because very often, and I don't know whether you've noticed this, peoples of the UK, but very often the weather can be better earlier in the year. April, May and June can be the best time, because very often July and August can be very wet or extremely warm. And as you know, in the very hot weather, I don't really function very well. Although I have to say, I have appreciated it a lot more in the past couple of years and been very grateful for the warm weather, because, you know, we spend all winter freezing bloody cold. Yeah. Hi, Linda from North Georgia, USA. I love, and I've said this before, I love how we've got people all over the world following us. I really love that. It's just fantastic. I've never been to the good old US of A. I've never been. No, Paul has many times, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah.
He's a true jet setter.
Yeah.
Hello, Melissa. Good evening from Nottingham. Hello, Debbie Ann. Yeah, Paul has been a few times. He used to go to New York quite a lot, didn't you, Paul?
Montreal.
Montreal or Montreal.
And
where else?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
And once to somewhere
Come on,
else.
keep the kettle boiling, Paul. Yeah, airtime and all of that. So yeah, I haven't been around that much, really. Not really. Well, there was that time, Joan, where there was a glitch and somebody sent us a screenshot saying we had 7.9 million subscribers in New Zealand. That was fun. I mean, we're never going to reach those dizzy heights, and, you know, very few people do. And neither would we want to.
Be too dizzying.
Oh, no. Now, I don't know whether I yearn to go to the USA. I think I would quite enjoy a trip there at some point, but I'd rather go to the sort of the countryside places rather than the cities, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like where that Ina Garten lives. You know, where does she live? New England, is it?
New Jersey.
I don't know, Paul. I'm asking you. You follow Ina Garten, I don't.
Hamptons.
The Hamptons, somewhere posh. Yeah. Oh, you've got a guest bedroom. Thank you. You enjoyed the Instant Pot video. Thank you, Carol. Well, Paul, this afternoon, has been doing an experiment with What are you doing again? Mushroom risotto.
Oh, I'm supposed to tell people.
Well, Paul, they're going to find out eventually. A test to see whether it works in the Instant Pot. And he's trying it out. We're going to eat the results. They better be bloody good. Because I make a mean risotto. Did I ever do a risotto cookery program, Paul?
I think so.
Did I? Yes, I did the one in the oven, didn't I? Oven baked risotto.
Vivi's doing a mushroom risotto as well.
Oh, Vivi's doing a mushroom risotto as well. Good. So we're doing this series. There is a new Instant Pot video coming out next week on Wednesday. And I'll give you a clue. It's going to be a soup. So again, it's showing you how to do recipes, how to do different types of recipes. And they're going to be mainly one pot dishes because that's how we eat. There's no point in us cooking things that we don't eat, you know. Risotto, Rebecca, if you do it in the oven, it's really, really easy to do. So have a little search later on our channel. I'm sure I did an oven-baked pumpkin risotto at one point. The thing with a risotto is if you do the stovetop method, it's a lot of stirring and you're stood up for the best part of half an hour. I find that a little difficult. If I stand in one place for too long, get a really awful backache. So the oven method for me is a lot easier to do because you bung it in and leave it for the best part of half an hour and it's all done. You just give it a quick stir when it comes out. Excuse me, I've got a sniffly nose. No, never tried it with quinoa. Interesting. I do love rice though. I love risotto rice as well. So let me just have a little look through this. Could we show how to reconstitute dry beans? Yes, that's in the plans, Carol. We're going to be showing not just full meals, but ways of cooking certain things like rice and beans in the Instant Pot. So that's coming up. It'll be a good few weeks before you see that one. Thank you, Rebecca. Judy, your daughter took you to New York and Memphis. Wonderful. Thank you, Vanessa. Hello, Malcolm and Tanya. Hello, garden plants. Okay, well, we did do a video on how we met, but we actually met when we were both working in the West End in London at the... Was it the Old Vic?
Young Vic.
The Young Vic Theatre. There we are. Paul's put the link up for the oven-baked risotto. But don't click on it now. Stay with us. Thank you. The Instant Pot has been... It was gifted to us by Courtney and Dave. And thank you. And it's been one of the most used gadgets we've ever had. And we've had a few gadgets over the years. Paul, please make a cameo appearance. What, now? But he's right over there on the other side of the room.
I can't move with my great weight.
I think you can. Yeah, risotto is delicious. And yeah, it should be thick and creamy, not dry. I've seen a few risottos. We've watched a few cookery programs and they said, I'm making a risotto. And they've made it out of ordinary rice. And it's been more like a fried rice. Do you remember that one we saw, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it should be thick and creamy and delicious. No, Jeanette, there's no moving plans. We're not going to be moving. Let's just get this straight now. We're not moving this year. We've decided no. We want a year out of doing all of that stuff. It's could be too risky this year to take on anything like that in terms of interest rates, in terms of mortgages, in terms of all of that stuff, house prices. With there potentially being a general election, you know, we've lived through quite a few general elections in our time, and it can really affect a lot of things. So we're not risking that this year. We're having a year just not thinking about that at all. It's just easier and stress-free, frankly. Yeah, we remember the old style pressure cookers. Yeah. Thank you, MJ. Well, we do try Asian rice soup, Rebecca. Yeah. Well, I don't mind rice in soup, Paul. Quite like a mulligatawny. Wouldn't I like? Is it slimy? I don't like slimy things. No. Hello, Alfie. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I'm a bit funny with certain textures, although I'm a bit weird, to be honest. I'm a bit weird. Ah, Nettie, you were reading The Mysterious Affair at Styles. Lovely. Anybody reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland with our read-along? I've finished it now. I don't know whether I said that last week, or did I finish it the weekend? I finished it this week. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. So, yeah, back to the cookery videos. There will be a whole series of Instant Pot videos. We're going to cover lots of different methods of using the Instant Pot, different recipes, different styles of food. There's certain things we haven't done yet, have we? I mean, we haven't really used it a lot for steaming vegetables.
No.
And apparently it's very effective at steaming vegetables, so that's good.
Pressure cookers are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I remember my mum doing all the vegetables for the Sunday lunch in the pressure cooker, all in one go. I mean, certain things would be overcooked. You know, the days when people didn't realise that vegetables really need to be quite crunchy. So you've just been watching my how to make a real coal fire, Alfie. Yeah, thank you. That's a popular video. A lot of people have watched that one. Talking about coal fires, we've not had one for quite a while. With the temperatures being higher, it means the heating doesn't have to work as hard and we don't spend as much on gas, which is really great. So we're very, very happy about that. Oh, I don't know. Could you make bread in the Instant Pot, Paul? Is there a recipe for it?
Sort of.
Is it going to develop a crust?
No.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? Oh, you'll have to give me a few minutes to translate that, Lamil. I'm not that good at French. I can read it, but I can't quite understand it, love. No. I can't even try. Well, Carol. Oh, thank you for that. Carol, my granny taught me how to light a fire, because when my granny was a young woman in the, I don't know, 1920s and 30s, she was in service. I'm not sure where she was in service, but she was. I know she was. So, of course, you know, most big houses required fires to be lit first thing in the morning. And if my granny didn't light the fire at her house, they didn't have hot water because they had a back boiler, so which sits behind the fire and the heat warms the water tank up. So she taught me to light a fire when I was a small child, and probably encouraged me to be a slight pyromaniac. I like a bit of fire. I really do. But we've not had one for a while, so that's a good thing. I've still got a few bags of coal left from the order that I placed at the beginning of winter. But of course, like I said earlier, we could quite easily have another cold snap. And in fact, you mentioned the other day, Paul, that there might be an Arctic doodah. What was it?
The polar vortex.
A polar
is
vortex.
Collapsing.
The polar vortex is collapsing. Oh my God! What
And
are we going to do?
If it slows down and collapses, it lets cold.
Lets the cold air come down. You see, and of course, with us being at the latitude we are affected by that cold air coming down because it doesn't have very far to go. Believe it or not, the UK is on the same latitude as Canada, but we get warmed because we're a relatively small island.
And the Gulf Stream.
The Gulf Stream, which is the water, and the jet stream, which is in the air. Yeah, there we are. Richard's weather report for Friday evening. Thank you. So there we are. Thank you, Lamille. Well, you're very kind, Joan. Thank you for that. No, Alfie, we're not lighting a fire this evening. It's perfectly warm. I'm very warm with my hoodie on. Yeah. Yeah, Tony, we're hoping when we do eventually move that we move into somewhere that's maybe a little bit warmer than this house. This house is warm at the top because it's insulated. We have a lovely attic room where we work and where we do our editing. And that retains its heat beautifully. It really does. It's really down here in the front room with having an open fire and having wooden floors, which again, I love. The house breathes, let's put it that way. And you can certainly feel on a cold, windy day that the air gets in. But, you know, once it heats up properly, once we have a run of mild days and we've had the heating on as we normally do in the evenings, only for a short length of time, the house does retain its heat, but it's keeping it warm. If you allow it to cool down for a couple of days, say we used to go to Guernsey quite regularly, and if we did that in the winter and turn the heating off, we'd come back to a very cold house and it would take a couple of days to really warm back up. So, and the problem with Victorian houses is they're very hard to insulate. There's no gap. Modern houses have a gap, have a cavity. There's no cavity wall. So the only way you can insulate a Victorian house is if you clad it on the outside or you clad the walls inside, which is a big job and actually ends up making the rooms much smaller because there has to be a gap. And also, you can run into problems with Victorian properties with them starting to retain their moisture. Victorian properties have what are called air bricks all the way around the house, which allow the house to breathe because the houses would have been heated with coal fires. So it's essential that the house breathes, that there is good ventilation, because in other words, you know, coal fires everywhere, you're going to suffocate. Fumes, oxygen being, you know, eaten up if the room is sealed. Whereas a lot of the modern houses are sealed up. That's why a lot of them are getting mold issues and damp issues. So that's a Victorian house for you. Yes, Linda, I think the general election is due this year because it's been, well, the situation recently has been different, hasn't it? Because
it's changed every 5 years.
It's every 5 years, but we had unelected prime ministers, didn't we?
That doesn't affect it.
No, I know, but it's been a weird situation recently. But it's, yeah, every 5 years. Is it every 5 years? I thought it was every 4 years.
It used to be.
Has it changed? So it's due, I think, this year, but they haven't told us when they're going to do it. Because very often, traditionally, elections are early in the year, aren't they?
May.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think we're going to have one in May. I think it may be September that they're planning one for, but they haven't told us, which is a bit cheeky, really. Well, I'd have to turn the camera around and everything's set up. So if if you look at that video, that's the same fire that's in this room. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Lovely. Yeah. Okay, I'm just catching up with the comments. So the polar vortex is a sort of spinning weather system that keeps the polar air where it should be, in the polar regions. And when that collapses, the air starts to filter down around the Earth and it gets moved around by the jet stream. That's how we get our weather systems. They're carried along the paths of the air. And the jet stream is a high-speed wind system, effectively, that is very high up and very fast. That's why when you travel from America to the UK, if you travel in that direction, the pilots can effectively use those wind speeds to speed up the journey. Whereas if they're traveling from the UK to America, they're traveling against those weather systems and it takes longer. So there you go. Well, there isn't any new art, really. In fact, a lot of the art has been taken down, Jeanette, because of when we were putting the house on for sale, I took quite a few things down to simplify. Okay. Yeah, I wish ours were, Linda. It would be a lot easier, but yeah, our government, don't get me started on our government at the moment. Have I done any fibre crafts or sewing this winter? I've done a few repairs. I've had the sewing machine out a few times, but nothing major. Well, thank you very much, Lamia. We will be, Alfie. We'll be selling the house eventually, but not this year. We tried last year. We were almost successful. We could have sold it if we wanted to, but the vibe didn't feel right. And I think that's really important when you're selling your property, that it all vibes. You know, do you know what I mean by that? For example, when we bought this house, we fell in love with it. In fact, we fell in love with it from afar, just by walking past it. And when we came in, it was perfect for us, even though the decor wasn't our taste. We fell in love and we clicked with the owners and it all fell into place. The vibe was right. We didn't get any strong vibes from the couple of people that put offers into our property. Therefore, it wasn't right. So I really believe in feeling the energy. Jenny, yes, I have read several Stephen King's, mainly the earlier novels. I can certainly recommend quite a few of them. The most recent one I've read by Stephen King was Under the Dome. That's going back quite a few years. Salem's Lot is an excellent book. The Shining is an excellent book. What else? It is brilliant. The Stand. There's quite a few that I've read. Are there any ceiling fans in our house? No, we don't have ceiling fans. No.
Many UK houses don't.
Yeah, then, well, there are a few houses that I've known that have had ceiling fans. We have high ceilings here, so the heat rises. Do I paint on canvas, Joan? I have painted on canvas a few times. There are a few pieces around the house which I painted. I had a phase of doing acrylics on canvas, but I'm not a painter. I mean, I couldn't paint a person. It would just end up looking like a blob. Well, we sort of did meet a few of the people that were arriving, Tony. I think next time we might do the viewings ourselves. But our estate agents were really good. I guess so, Joan. A lot of them are actually put away. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my position because my leg was going to sleep. A lot of our artwork is sort of put away, but maybe I'll be able to squeeze that in at some point for you. There's none in this room by me. There used to be. I did a big orange sun.
We did a video.
I know, that was the art around the house video. So maybe take a look at that one, Joan, and then you'll see them. So we've been going for 35 minutes. We've got 88 people with us at the moment. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Have we got any clocks? We have, Alfie. We've got a clock that chimes in our middle room, which is the room next door to this. And it's an old clock that has an hourly and half-hourly chime, which can be rather annoying sometimes in the middle of the night when you're trying to get to sleep and you hear bong, bong, bong. Yeah. Well, the Instant Pot is a really good way of cooking if you want to cook quickly, but you still need to do the preparation of the ingredients. But that can be minimal preparation, chopping, slicing, dicing, quite easy to do. Hello, the land of mint from Bella Italia. I'm sure you'll be able to see it one day, Alfie. I'll try and fit that in at some point. Thank you. There we are. Paul's given you the link. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, super duper. So we're not going to go on for too long. It's going to be kept to an hour, just so you know when we come the time to say goodbye. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me and Paul, please do so now. What are our couple plans for the year? What you mean in terms of going away and things like that? We haven't got any plans at the moment. We don't make plans that often, really. We would like to go away for a week somewhere in the countryside in a sort of, I don't know, cottage, a rental, an Airbnb, whatever, at some point. All right, Paul? Cheeky. Yeah, but that's about it, really. We'll probably go to Guernsey at some point because we know Guernsey, we like Guernsey. I don't know. No, we haven't made any plans, really. What's the thing at the top of the chimney in the living room?
Flue. Cap.
Oh, you mean outside? Do you mean the cowl? The rain cowl? It's to stop rain from coming into the chimney. Thank you. The Tittington Smythes will be seeing us later in the year. They've invited us to their country estate for a little break. Yeah, we will be seeing them at some point. Oh, he does mean it, Vanessa. The reason we bought this house was to get away from each other. I'll tell you. I think it's important. I think this is a really, really important point. You know, people that tell you that being in a couple is all perfect and, you know, all, it's a lie. The best way to maintain a good relationship is to have time apart and to have separate interests. Oh, inside, it's just a brick that's missing. That's it. It's always been like that, and it's kind of quite cute. And we actually have a little tiny Buddha sitting in that gap. So yeah, that's what that is. Would I return to acting? Well, I never really was an actor, really. I did some amateur stuff many years ago, but I always wanted to be an actor. I did a few productions, but no, I was never an actor. If you mean when I mentioned the West End, I wasn't an actor in the West End. I worked in ticketing. Yeah. So there we are. Lovely. There we go. I hope that answers your question, Alfie. Yeah. Being a couple, stay away from each other as much as possible. It's the key to happiness. It really is. And the thing is, we get on very well because we don't argue. We very rarely have disagreements. And if we do, we just disagree. We don't squabble about it. We just disagree. And I'm usually right. Hi, Gay. Nice to see you, Gay. Aw, I was thinking about you the other day when I was at work. I think I saw a case note from old days. Yeah. Could you make a video, follow Richard for a day? Oh, blimey. I've thought about doing that, but you know, we do enough already, I think. Sylvia, no, not at the moment. I did a little bit a few weeks ago, but I just haven't got round to having any time to do it, you know? Just having a look at the comments. Okay, Judy, have a good weekend. Well, it would be great to get to 7,000 subscribers. It's taken long enough. Maybe I will do. We'll see. I'm looking forward to our meal this evening. It better be good, Paul. Better be tasty. Did you put thyme in it?
Yeah.
So if you didn't see earlier, we're having mushroom risotto. Risotto this evening. We've got 98 people with us now. It's 43 minutes in. Have you got any more questions for me? Say now. Say now. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Tony. I know we do, Jeanette. Anything new going on for me? New products I'm trying? I haven't bought any products recently. The most recent products that I bought were some hair products. Cantu, which I think is designed for black and afro hair. It's because I wanted a very rich and creamy hair product. I actually put a little bit on earlier because I was trying to revive my hair, which desperately needs washing, I can tell you. And I really love these products. They come in a orange bottle, orange containers, and they're really quite natural and they smell lovely and sort of orangey. So that's the most recent thing I have bought for myself. Yeah, haven't really bought much recently. Just catching up with the comments. Hello, Dean and Andrina. Welcome. Thank you. Favorite pastime? Oh, blimey. Well, our main pastime really is making videos. My favorite pastime is probably making music, but I don't do it often enough. The pastime that I crave the most is having an afternoon nap. It passes time. I quite enjoy knitting occasionally. Amazon. I got them from Amazon. They are Thinsulate. It's a really nice orangey sort of smell. I don't think it is orange, but it smells orangey to me. And it's Cantu, Cantu, that's it. Thank you, Debbie. I do chop bits off my hair, and I get a friend occasionally. When it gets very long, I get her to chop bits off as well. It's very random. What I tend to do, and I'll tell you how I cut my own hair. I take about 15 hair bands and I section it all over using 2 mirrors. I section it into even sections and then I cut the same amount off each section. Doesn't always work, but I don't care, you know. What are we doing tomorrow? Filming Sunday Chat.
Sunday Chat!
And putting together my weekly vlogs. And probably doing more washing, more housework, all of that.
Cooking.
And potentially putting together another video as well, cookery video. Have we any photos, videos from Bali? No, we haven't, Jeanette. We've got some photos somewhere, but God knows where they are. CJ, what's my favourite skincare product? I don't really use any skincare products, to be absolutely honest with you. In fact, I don't even think I've got any moisturiser. I don't tend to use moisturiser. I only wash with water. I scrub my face once a week, give it a good scrub with a flannel, a wet flannel. But other than that, I don't really use anything. I wear a night cream at night in my eyes because I have dry eyes, and that tends to sort of migrate around my eyes during the night, so they remain moisturized and it hangs around for a while. So yeah, but no, I don't really use any. I do drink a lot of water. Thank you, Judy. Well, the thing is, Jeanette and Smudgy, when we were younger, you didn't have camera phones, you didn't have digital cameras. If you wanted to take pictures, it was all on film. I mean, there's probably several of my friends who've got photos of me when I was young, but I don't really have that many photos. And they're potentially family photos, so, you know, I'm not really going to share photos of my family because I'd have to blur their faces because they don't necessarily want to be seen. So, you know, there isn't really that much. What you see is what you get, really. Yes, I'm only 39, Jenny. Future retirement. Well, I kind of like to think that I am actually semi-retired now, even though I'm working sort of full-time at the moment. So yeah, I don't know. Just to move house and be in a quieter area of the country with less people, fewer people. That's the dream. Well, Jeanette, there's lots of stories. You know what? I'm going to be honest here. Look, I don't tend to spend too much time reflecting on the past because I've spent so much time being in the here and now because I believe that really that's all we've got. There's a lot of my past that's not so pleasant and a little bit dark, and you know, my family sort of broke up when I was 16. I lost my mum when I was 28. I've been through all sorts of things personally, and really I sort of tend to park that in the past. I don't tend to make too many future plans. I just try to be in the here and now, you know. That's what I do, you know. This is all we've got, you know. This is all we've got, the present, now, and we should just enjoy the moment. Well, I think that's great, Leslie. I think that's I mean, we have got a lot of photographs, but they're not necessarily ones I took. I've got old ones of my parents, my grandparents, old holidays and things like that. But that's my stuff, you know, it's personal stuff. And I think especially when you share your life on social media, as we do, or share parts of our lives, you have to retain stuff for yourself, you know, you have to. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, I think you do have to be positive to a certain degree, but I think also you have to learn to acknowledge the crappier stuff in life. Because if you're constantly thinking positively all the time about everything, sometimes you don't process stuff. And I think it's important to process stuff and move through things. I think that's an important thing to do, you know? Yeah. We've both lost a bit of weight over the past couple of years because we're eating very, very sensibly. Although I have to say I ate too many tortilla chips today. Hi, Courtney. It was another impromptu, spontaneous live. We're 52 minutes in and we've got 101 people watching. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in and spending your time with me this Friday evening. I do enjoy it. I love it. I love to chat with you all. I really do. Yeah, but I think there's a lot to be said for positivity if it's placed in at the right moments in life, you know, because I think when we feel down, there can be a tendency to become unbalanced, you know, because you're looking at that issue that is dark and depressing. So I think we have to learn to distract ourselves and do something else. And that's my method of dealing with the down times. I allow myself 5-10 minutes to really think about what it is that's making me feel down and sad and depressed. Well, sadness and depression are two different things. We need to make that distinction as well. I allow myself to wallow and, if need be, shed a few tears, feel dark and depressed, and just feel it and go through it for a few moments, you know. And then I shake myself down and I say, I have to coach myself and parent myself. And I actually say, come on, Richard, get yourself going. You can do it. Move, you know. So I do. And that's how I deal with those times. And, you know, I know there are some people who find it impossible to get out of bed in the morning, you know, so I'm not saying this lightly, and I'm certainly not saying this method would work for everybody. But I think if you're feeling sad and it's about something that's happened to you, yet you have a life that you've got to lead, and you don't have a choice. You've got to get up and you've got to do stuff and you've got to go to work and you've got to do X, Y, and Z, and you feel able to still, you have to self-parent. You have to motivate yourself very often. You can't rely on anybody else to do that for you. So you have to push. You have to push through it, but you also have to acknowledge the feelings that you have. I think that's important. And of course, if you're able to afford it or you can get it free, have some therapy. I've been in therapy a few times. Some of it I found completely and utterly useless. But a couple of the therapists I found to be absolutely brilliant. So it's interesting, isn't it? Oh, there's probably 101 things. What makes me angry with Paul? I don't really get angry. I get annoyed. I was annoyed today with him because he moved something and I didn't know where it was. I said, "Where is that? Where is it?" He said, "Oh, I don't know. I put it somewhere." "Where have you put it?"
I'll remember.
And it was worrying me that this item was missing, that I'd accidentally thrown it away or I'd done something completely random. Yeah. Will our next house move be our last? Who knows? Don't know.
Only if we die in it.
I don't know. It needs to be a single story. I don't know. Don't know. Can't say. Don't know the future. Yeah, seeds all over the house. So it doesn't annoy me, but you know, I mean, we've got bran flakes in the wardrobe. Not loose, you understand. Packets of bran flakes in the wardrobe. He didn't find my ring. I found my ring. Yeah, Paul wouldn't have a clue where my jewellery is. I know where his jewellery is. I know where his gold is, and I'm going to sell it. Not really. Never wear it, though, Paul.
I was thinking of wearing it, yeah.
Signature meal for entertainment probably would be a moussaka or a lasagna. Lasagna is my all-time favourite dish. And if I'm feeling really, really naughty and want something absolutely luscious to eat, my absolute favourite meal is a lovely, rich... Oh, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. So if I start drooling, you will have to excuse me. A lovely, rich, gorgeous, chunky, well-baked lasagna, cheesy topping with chips. That's fries. Yeah, that's my ultimate favourite comfort meal. Or cauliflower cheese. Or, oh, I've got so many, macaroni cheese. Vegetarian moussaka, of course.
Anything with cheese, basically.
Anything with a thick, rich, cheesy sauce on top. Hello, Donna. Yeah, anything like that. You'd be apprehensive to approach me. I'm a bloody receptionist in social care. I'm completely and utterly approachable. I might be slightly intimidating. Look, what you've got to understand is for me to sit here, if I were to sit here as everyday Richard, you'd be sitting here in silence. Because actually, this takes energy to do. So you're seeing the energetic extrovert part of my personality. That's what you're seeing. The rest of the time, I'm very quiet. I'm very approachable. I'm an excellent listener. But my job here is to talk and to keep you engaged. So it requires a different part of me to do that. But generally, I'm a very quiet, unassuming, normal, boring old toilet goer. Yeah. I'm not snobby in the least. I have this voice that comes out that occasionally sounds extremely posh. So, but in, everyday life, I'm kind of not always like that. I'm pretty quiet. I'm quite shy, actually. Shy. I can't go on. Exactly. Thank you, Gay. Now, Gabriel, I worked with for many, many years. She knows I'm very approachable and very pleasant person to be around. I will only be, I guess I'll only be intimidating if I have to be assertive. Because I don't believe in being walked all over, you know. And I'm a natural performer. I always have been since I was 3 years of age when I used to do impressions of Cilla Black. Yeah, I know. I'm from the north. The voice, well, I've kind of always spoken like this. My parents didn't know what was wrong. Yeah. They called me posh at school. I did drama, so that really flattened my accent as well. I'm from Cheshire. So I am able to do a northern accent if I try hard enough. I find it a real effort to go to social gatherings. Yeah, I would rather fade into the background and talk to one person who I maybe find interesting. That's it. I'm not, if I go to a party, it's about, well, I don't really like parties, but it would be about enjoying the atmosphere of the party. I'm not really somebody that puts myself on show unless I have to, but I'm confident enough as a performer to step into the extrovert part of me in order to do what I'm doing here. That's the way it is, you know. I used to party many years ago, but usually with a small group of people. I've never been a big club goer. No, too much input for me. I find it overwhelming. Big gatherings, yeah, too much. So yeah, I'm a homebody essentially that likes to be quiet and reflective. Yeah. Yeah, that's who I am. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like a good laugh, but that's usually if I'm in that sort of entertaining mode, or I'm one-to-one with a friend where we're having a giggle, you know? Yeah, but I do also like to make people enjoy themselves. I like to make people laugh. I think you all get that by now. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked at my chart for a while, so I'm not too sure. Hi, Anita. Welcome. So we're 1 hour 3, 94 people watching. Yeah. Well, it's interesting, isn't this phrase, people person? I have to be a people person because of my work. It's my job to be a people person. And I do enjoy giving people a good experience at work. That includes my colleagues as well. It's important that people have a good interaction with the department that I work for. So at work, it's my job, and I spend 7 hours being a people person. So when I come home, if I've had a huge amount of input that day, and very often I can do, I will say to Paul, don't give me anything, don't give me any input. I just need to sit for an hour doing nothing other than amusing myself. And that's what I like to do, just to decompress. We have a very small circle of friends because, to be honest, the majority of our friends have moved out of the country. We've got friends in...
Says a lot.
Yeah, they've all left us. We've got friends in New Zealand, America, Canada, France, Netherlands,
Scotland.
well, that's not well, it is another country, but it's joined. So we don't have a huge circle of friends at this time in our life, and that is kind of how we like it. That's it. Yeah.
Wales. Yeah. Oh yes,
I think it's I think it's good not to have too many people in your life, because how on earth do you spread yourself around? You know, I mean, we've got just enough energy to do what we do, to work, make the videos, see the friends we've got. That fills all of our time, you know? So I wouldn't want to expand that. And of course, I've got all of you guys as well. You know, we have actually a responsibility to you as well. You know, and we take that responsibility seriously because you're here for some entertainment, and hopefully we provide it and you enjoy it. So we are actually providing a service to you, and we take that seriously, you know. And yes, we do get paid to do this. We don't get paid very well, but we do get paid. So, you know, we have to give the best we can. Eurovision Song Contest, we used to, but like everything, I think it's just got too big. It's just too big. It's too much of a spectacle now. It kind of leaves me dizzy. The last time I watched it, I thought, I don't know what's going on. It used to be simple and easy to follow. Now they've got, we've got these rounds first of all, and this is the semi-final, and that's that, and that. I can't keep up with all of that. No. Who's my favourite actor? Oh, gosh, blimey, now you're asking. Favourite actor? Oh, goodness me, I have no idea. No idea. Quite like Richard Armitage. He's quite good. I quite like, what's her name? Jodie Foster. I quite like, oh God, I can see her in my mind. I can't think of her name. This is the problem with the age. I quite like Maggie Smith. Quite like Judi Dench. Yeah. There we are. Okay, do we plan to get a pet? We don't plan to get an animal. No. We had cats for the best part of 20 years, and that was, well, harrowing in places, to be honest with you. Losing them was, I found, overwhelming, totally overwhelming. Yeah, so no. We gave up our lives, and I think I said this last week, we gave up our lives to the cats because that's the way we feel it should be. And yeah, when you lose them, it's overwhelming and it lasts for a long time. And I'm not going through that again. I wouldn't mind dealing with a stray or a neighbour's cat, you know, love animals, but I don't want to have the responsibility of having another animal. catching up with the comments. Well, yeah, Jimmy, I mean, we lost a friend in 2018, I think it was, which was a huge, huge shock. So, you know, that's life, isn't it? Got to deal with it. Yeah, I think that's great, Heather. We have a few cats in our garden, but they always run away from me. I don't know why. Right, so we're 1 hour 11. It's time to say goodbye. Yeah, I know, but I'm being totally selfish about it. I'm being very clear about this because I am not putting myself through that anxiety and anguish and grief again. Not doing it. Not doing it. No way. Will not do it. Oh, sorry, Miles. Yeah, it's time to go now. I just want to say thank you, bloody thank you, for joining me today and Paul in the background on this chat. I shall try and make it a fairly regular thing, so watch out for the notification. Yeah, we'll try and make it a regular thing for a little while, for the spring. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry to hear that, Debbie Ann. Take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you on Sunday for Sunday chat. And I'll see you tomorrow for my daily vlogs. Yeah. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to press the button now. I am. I'm going to press it first. You're very welcome, everybody. Take care. Get your goodbyes in. Come on. Come on. Come on. Thank you very much, Vanessa. Take care. I'm hitting that button now. I'm hitting it. I'm going to press it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Ciao. Bye.